Well, greetings. This is Interstellar Radio. Today's date is December 28th, 2019. We have Gina on the line. Well, greetings.
Hi, how are you?
Well, Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. There's a lot to discuss about that. I'm sure we can get to that here in a minute.
Yeah, wherever you like to start. In your hands.
Okay, well, I'd like to see if we can start talking about predictions of 2020 and getting a lot of information. And, I'm open to answer any of those questions regarding the new decade that we're now beginning.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, whatever you're picking up, please share.
Well, the first thing that has come through for me very strongly today in preparation was to discuss the presidential administration moving forward. I think nothing is going to change from where we are today. It's going to continue with the Trump administration. And regardless of all of the negative distractions of an impeachment hearings and negative news articles that I'm sure are being spread, those are not real. They're there to cause confusion amongst the people that follow the news. But basically, at the end of the day, they are still going to continue to remain in office, doing the work that they intended to do from the beginning. So the Trump administration is deceiving the deceivers and doing a very good job at that, and taking us on the path that we need to be on. This is not a political reading. This is an energy reading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely.
Female officer will be in 4 years.
Female officer.
The next president.
A female president?
There's a prediction of that after one more.
Of Trump?
Yes.
Wow. That's a big deal.
So I know that the energy is surrounding preparations for this. It's not predicting that it is a fact. I am saying that the administration is putting energy into it, and it's going to be all in the family.
Yeah. Like somebody like Ivanka.
Yes.
It's his daughter, yeah.
Plannings are in the works.
Wow.
That was energy that was shared with me through my request to connect today, to get that off and running, because that is a big question that a lot of people have. I don't feel that there's been any major shift away from where we are already on that arena. The shifts are going to be happening in a different way for 2020. I feel that we are looking at having a individual cleansing, rebirthing, and this is a new decade in a few more days. This is a beautiful thing, a beautiful experience to embrace, that there are people that are still resisting the new system, fear-based reactions to change. So certain people who are struggling with accepting the new version of where we're going as a human species and evolving as a human species, they're going to be met with a lot of resistance, but it's going to be harder. The transition and cleansing is going to be a lot harsher. So to simplify things, those people may need to visit old memories, old experiences, old teachings. They may have flashbacks just to remind them. But what is really going to be happening globally is we're going to be shifting as a race, human race, into a new vibration. The new vibrations have begun. So symptoms of this are going to be more of a localized awakening. You're going to see more people within your community making some adjustments in regard to how during an awakening people change their belief systems, right? Your neighbors, your friends, if you're in school, or if you still follow a religion and you are in a church-based system, you're going to see changes in those things. Churches are going to be introducing more of a non-religious teaching system. I've seen it already. I participated. I was invited to see it already. And this is a very positive thing. So organized religion will no longer be where we will be in the moving into the new decade.
So I feel just more. What kind of shift? I mean, do you see? I mean, like you see less negativity, less violence. What do you?
Well, I do. I feel coming together more as a community. We, you know, the fear of government takeover, controlling the masses, and all of this is a one-sided way of thinking. The other side is, well, we know that what we're up against, we've heard it for a very long time, but we have the ability to overcome that. So the message is to stop feeding it. And by how we stop feeding it, literally, they feed off of our emotion. So we need to understand that we can take that away from them. By not feeding them, that means we're not reacting negatively to our neighbors, to our friends. I'm sorry, I'm in a reading right now, and I'm trying to get the right words. So war, there's not a war. There's no fighting. There's no false flagging. I feel like that is dying. Those tactics are no longer, they're not getting the response to feed off of any longer. People are awakening to it. So in the new decade, we're going to be seeing a little bit different shifts positively. Now, just remember, it's not a light switch. You don't just turn it on in 2020 and everything is going to be different. But it's a slow progression, but it is progressing in the right direction.
Yeah, it's like a 10-year process, basically, for more alien energies
within this new decade. We're going to definitely see that more ships in the sky, obviously more people seeing them, being able to tell what is a human ship and what is interstellar ships, because it's a combination of both. The government has their ships still up there, but we will be seeing and having experiences with that. But it's really not about the ships anymore. We all know that they're here. I feel like we're going to be having more engaging experiences. More people are going to be able to connect telepathically once they start to understand that they are able to do this. This is what's going to be coming soon. That part is already begun, the being able to communicate telepathically, or you're going to start recognizing, I can't believe that person just called me. I was just thinking about them, and right away the phone is going to ring. Or you're thinking of something and you will then, manifest it. That is real. It happens. It is real. And this is going to be the new shift in 2020. As a human race, we are evolving in this direction.
Yeah, that's good. So it'll be So it's not going to happen instantly, obviously, but we're slowly going into more of that synchronicity energy.
Correct. Yes.
We just feel that we're more connected than we ever were before.
Yes, and the key is to trust it. Trust the synchronicity is not an accident. It is real, and the more we are trusting of this, the more we will experience it.
Yeah, because SpaceX is going into space more, and everyone's talking about space tourism. So it shows that we're in the direction of, the future.
Well, I don't feel like that's going to be something right away.
No.
I feel that we're going to see more progression in SpaceX program, but there's something else with that program. There's like another new.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just SpaceX. I don't know what it is. I don't have the answer. I don't feel that it's just the SpaceX. SpaceX is going to be old news because there's something new.
Well, there's one with the government. They're doing their own thing.
I just feel like SpaceX is going to be old news.
Okay. Well,
and I don't really have the answer. There's something else.
I think you got a while to be old news. Not yet, at least. unless they get shut down or something. Who knows?
Well, the feeling is, they're limited to what they're doing. And it's great. It's great progression, but something else is coming. So when you talk about SpaceX, it's going to be old news compared to the best way I can try to get the language out properly is it's going to be old news in comparison to what is to come.
Yeah, something. Well, yeah. I mean, somebody's got to start things up. I mean, it just will progress here and there. So yeah.
There's something else going on that hasn't been shared with us yet.
I think it's the space, the secret space program, supposedly.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what I'm feeling. Something else.
Yeah.
Something else besides, because there's a lot of energy and focus on that program of SpaceX, and and that's great. But I think we want more, and more will be revealed.
Yeah, because there's a video out there of humans being on a ship towards Mars. Like they're like, I mean, who knows?
Oh, the movie?
No, it's not a movie. It's actual footage.
Well, because there is a movie that is about that.
No, it has nothing to do with the movie. It just, I mean, what do you think? I mean, you think there's actually humans on like Mars and other planet,
Scientists, yeah.
Yeah, it gotta be. It just can't be just. They're not telling anybody, but there's gotta be.
Well, just like there are on the moon.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't want to let people in for various reasons.
But there's certainly there are relationships between our alien friends and the human race that have been known since the 40s, where we are actively engaged with them. So yes, do I know for a fact that there are? I'm not able to receive that information, but the energy, meaning when I ask that question, shows me that Mars does have activity.
Yeah, it feels like.
So what is that activity? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, because there's a video out there of people, or somebody that's on the ship. They show it's like 100 days, or whatever it is, and then they show, Mars in the distance, that they're coming closer to it. So who knows
okay,
or not?
There's a video. Okay.
Yeah. So who knows? I can always send it to you. Yeah. So who knows? But it's neat. I mean, those things are going to slowly start opening up eventually. So
yes.
Yeah, when we start talking about other planets and all that, that become the norm, the new normal, right? Eventually, Mars.
It's going to be accepted a lot easier.
Like in the next 10 years, at least.
Right, because understanding the old system is being broken down by the indigo adults right now, if anybody is familiar. The indigo adults have been hard at work and, really having challenges through our lifetime dealing with breaking old systems. So Crystal and Rainbow Children are building the new system.
Mm-hmm.
But the people of the generation before Indigo Children who created a broken system many of them are not going to be around in the next decade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's also another thing to understand with the shift, that the energy connected to the old system is slowly disappearing.
Yeah. Eventually, newspapers won't be. I think there's still existence, but eventually those will go away. The physical.
How we live.
Yeah. Yeah.
How our way of life, commerce, different. Food, how we get our food, housing, it's going to be different.
What about food? Do you think people are going to become less meat eating?
They're more. Well, they're already doing it now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Vegetarian. Well, I'd say that that shift has already been happening for a while now. I don't feel like. I feel that I'm not saying that. We all want labels. We're all looking for a name or a label for something. I think it's just that we're going to be more conscious of the food that we put in our body, that when we eat live food, like live food, nourishment that's alive, that's organic fruits and vegetables that are alive. That's how we continue to heal our bodies. When we have meat into our bodies, we're creating lower vibration.
Yeah.
And so people are starting to see that within themselves. It's just because they feel better when they do it. So they're making that change. And that's going to continue. The statistics on that are going to grow.
Definitely. We got a couple of decades to go for it to hit more vegetarianism. It's just the old energies are going to start to break down. Yeah. And become more vegan, but there's still a lot to learn about our dimension still. Just can't just get up. It's like a class, like a school. You can't just.
Well, we're here to have an experience, to experience emotions, good and bad. Yeah. This is part of evolving, but it's learning from those experiences that matters. Instead of repeating them. There are certain people who had a contractual agreement to come here to have these experiences and not evolve beyond those experiences. That is very frustrating to see and watch, but that's not our choice, and that's not for us to judge. So as an individual, you need to identify what it is that you are truly seeking from this experience.
What do you think
Focus
about
on yourself?
Yeah, what do you think about creativity? More of that.
You're going to see, of course, getting in touch with your true essence of who you are.
Just a lot of. What about we're connected to? Are you ever connected to other versions of Earth?
So, you know what? I heard you mention in another video, and I really liked that connection you made with Mother Mary and Mother Earth. The more we have awareness of ourselves and treat ourselves, nourish ourselves, our bodies, our minds, and our spirit, Mother Earth is charged from that.
Yeah.
And Mother Mary represented in the historic translation of her role. they told a story of her and her endurance and her acceptance and understanding as her role here to support the greater good. And so when in comparison to what we can do here to support the greater good is to have a respect and understanding of your role. The comparison of Mother Mary to Mother Earth is a very difficult translation in these words. I have a difficult time translating it, but I understand that they run together and are alive. The energy is still alive and supporting Mother Earth, understanding that it is necessary for the evolution. So if that does not make sense, my apologies. But I do feel there is a new version breaking through. It has been happening. The animals are responding very, very differently. I don't know if you've noticed that in nature. I spend a lot of time in nature. And I do feel that connection to Mother Earth is so strong. And on the contrary, she's not killing herself.
No.
She's growing. And because the energy of the new generations of people, of humans that are coming in, have a great respect for her.
Yeah, to go through all this.
Say that again?
Yeah, to go through all this.
I don't believe that the generations before us had a great respect for Mother Earth. They didn't have an understanding of it. And the new generation of people do.
Yeah, it's getting better. Still has a ways
Right.
to go.
I really do. On the, in spite of what you may hear from other people in a news or, I don't really know where you get your information from. But I get it from just being out with nature myself and interacting with it. And I feel that it is, a much better relationship with Mother Earth now than humans had before us.
Yeah. Well, it feels like during the Middle Ages they had a better understanding of the Earth.
And then we had then it changed, and now we're going back to that.
Yeah, we're going more. It's more the medieval times are more fairy-like, you can say, or spiritual.
Yes. They had a deep respect and understanding at those times. Medicine came from Mother Earth. They trusted that medicine, the herbs and oils, plant therapy, medicine healed you. They went to Mother Earth for healing. Then we got away from all of that, and I feel we're going back to it, getting back into, having Mother Earth teach us again, help us, and heal us.
Yeah, it's more of a Atlantean,
Yes, a Lemurian.
Yeah, Lemurian, Atlantean.
Mm-hmm.
The Earth will speak to people more clearly. It is now,
and they listened.
Yeah, it'll get louder and it'll become more part of society.
Yes,
people are afraid of it for various reasons, for obvious reasons. They've been raised not to believe in any of it, of course. Because sports is a distraction.
I don't know. Is it still a bit? Is it still like that big of a deal for people? I mean,
it's lowering, but it's still pretty strong. But
yeah, I don't really, I don't connect to that. So I really don't have a way of gauging if it's getting less and less. I don't know if more people are, shying away from that yet, but they will.
They say there's less people in the seats at
the
stadiums.
Good. So less and less as we continue to move into the new decade.
I mean, sports has its positives, of course, because it's exercise. But if you're watching somebody exercise and you're not doing anything,
right?
Course,
well,
anyway,
right. But to support it, or pay it respect in like a god.
Yeah, that's why it's being treated.
That's the problem. That's when we have a problem.
It's worship, the worship of the players and stuff like that.
Worship, thank you. I couldn't come up with the word. No, that's really where we have failed as a race. But I feel like I don't connect to it, but I know that we're moving away from that.
Yeah, I don't like bringing up politics, but it does play a role. It does. It's part of our.
Well, the politics has run the sports.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the past, present, but they got him. It didn't originally.
Yeah.
Then they saw the opportunity of controlling the masses, and of course, the bank. So I just feel like people are like catching on.
Well,
that's a beautiful thing.
Well, like the dollar bill, like all the money changes, but I think the dollar bill stays the same usually. So my feeling is when that starts to change, the manipulation begins to unlock. The hold on humanity begins to dissipate.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
the promise of money is greater than the actual money.
Yeah.
And when that is such an imbalance in our society.
Yeah.
So there's a transition of how we will operate with finances. Not yet. It may not even be in my timeline.
Yeah, it's got
in this timeline. But that is too soon to say. I'm not gonna. I can't see that change now.
Let's put it this way: people will be able to live on less.
Right.
And
exactly.
Right now, like apartments are like ridiculous priced, and everything's like. It just isn't. Cars are expensive. Everything's expensive.
Look, you're right.
So
staying away. Stop giving into the system. So there is the promise of money. Just that's a mortgage. The promise of money, that is leasing a car or having a car payment, is greater than the actual money that you possess. And when you find yourself in this situation, it's time to reevaluate how you want to live and stress-free life, less things. Listen, we don't need all of the things we were told we needed.
Yeah.
And simplifying, downsizing, is really going to, it's already caught on. And I'm not talking about the tiny house nation thing that people were doing. That was a good, people are, have a good ideas in regard to that. But living simple, I know if you can look around your home right now, and you can say, well, do I need this anymore in my possession? How does this serve me? Is it feeding me? Is it clothing me? Is it keeping me warm? How is it affecting me? And if we could all start taking a look at our lives in that regard. Yes, I like my coffee, so I will do that. That gives me pleasure. That's fine. I'm not talking about those things. But excess of things, it's time to let it go. And then then our government, and then those people that we've, been told to fear, manipulating and monitoring, have a lesser hold on you.
Yeah. So what about those that are on, like hallucinogens, or like weed or anything, what do you, or something that's a little bit more healthier than that? What do you think about stuff like that? Or
well, I don't think weed is a hallucinogenic. I think
no.
that it's not a drug. I think it's a natural herb.
Herb, okay.
A hallucinogenic, well, anything that is
mushroom. What do you think about
artificially created?
About mushrooms, what do you think about those?
Well, I really don't have an opinion about them because I've never done it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why somebody would like to do that unless they're going into a spiritual growth. They want to tap into their higher self and go through those rituals with a proper shaman and guides. That's fine to do for that purpose. But to live in that state of mind, I don't have an opinion. Because I don't judge people who do those things. I personally don't do them. But I don't really feel the need to. But weed is not a drug.
No, that's true. That's different. Well, what about alcoholism? What do you think? So
that's a problem.
Yeah.
For the physical body and the mind and the family dynamics.
Yeah.
There's a lot of destruction in alcohol. In fact, if anything was to be outlawed, it should have been that and not weed. We can all agree about that, I'm sure.
I agree. It's amazing how alcohol. I mean, they had prohibition, but still, and even that was probably manipulation. If there's a government or something,
Right.
I can see involved with that, trying to bring it back. So, yeah, alcohol is got to be one of the worst things ever. I mean, yeah, even fast food. I mean, both of them are kind of in the same.
I mean, are people still going to fast food?
Yeah, definitely.
They're still around, right? But I don't know.
Not to name names, because some of those are healthier than some, but like in Europe, the fast food places I think are healthier, which is crazy. And then here in America, it's just totally opposite.
Well, I mean, fast food is just food that's fast, right? So can't you just have a fast food drive-through healthy alternative? Why does it have to be right? And then why does it have to be so expensive? And then people say, well, it costs so much to be organic. But I have to tell you, if you go to your local farmers market, it's really not. Supporting your local farmers is not that much compared to a grocery store. So, buying your fruits and vegetables locally is really going to help you in your community, but obviously eating right. But again, it's education too, understanding and being educated on the topic of nourishment. Some people, and that would be me too, because there was a time I needed help with that and understanding, cooking, and so not everybody knows how to prepare their food. I've always had an issue with that. But I
got a download of as our energies shift to a higher vibration, like vegetables will change their energy to a higher frequency, but also colors will change. And probably new fruits and vegetables will probably start appearing too somehow.
And our bodies will require less of that. Yeah.
Even trees, I think trees can change their color too.
Well, colors, because we're going into a new dimension. New dimension comes with new colors that we're not familiar with, but I've experienced them when I crossed over. So, there's no name for those colors, but they can be, different versions of the blues and the greens and, other colors that are none of that, that I don't know what they are.
I know this is not the most important question. I feel like there's colors here that other planets, maybe even other universes, don't even have. That's on our world.
It's very possible, but there's nothing in our world that is equal to what is in their world.
Because our world has a certain shade or a certain something that other worlds don't have. That's the feeling I get.
Well, we have different needs.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, but if you want to go there, then I need to.
Well, we don't need to go there too. I mean, that's going to go into our food. I mean, we change color ourselves. You can say. You know what I mean?
With the foods that we eat, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. People. So if you look in gray, some say, "Oh boy, you don't look so good. You're looking great. Probably not eating very good." But that's why it's very important to eat a lot of color.
Yeah.
Color equals nutrition on your plate, and I don't mean artificial color.
What about
so going into new 2020, people are going to be more conscious and continue to be conscious of nourishment.
I'm just going to put this out there. I don't know where we're going to get with it. I saw that cow. Like, do you see like a cow as an alien being somewhere? Like,
I'm not picking that up, but I'm listening to you.
You do. I mean, you don't doubt it, right? I mean, there's probably something out there that looks like that somewhere.
Well, why do they come down and dissect them?
What do you mean dissect them or what? Well,
you're familiar with claims that the cows have been, their eyeballs have been neatly dissected out, or their, organs of a cow have been dissected out by aliens. You've heard of that before, right?
Yeah.
So, why is that? Why you're picking that up?
Oh no, I'm not picking that part of it up. I mean, I'm talking about an actual cow alien being. Like a humanoid being with a cow head.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm not picking anything up like that. But that's not something that I connect to.
But I think it exists somewhere. I mean, everything has a.
But interesting that I brought that up with the cow dissecting. Was there a reason?
Well, that is like, it's like cows are kind of like a reflection of us. Like if they can't get into our energy, I guess they go to the cows instead. Just because we consume them a lot, they have our energy. I know that sounds weird, but that's why some alien beings do that. I think it's just they can't do. Some of them would like to humans, from what I'm gathering, but they're not allowed to, which is good.
No. Yes.
Jeez, ouch. Well, because they don't understand us. Just like we don't understand stuff. We don't understand something. We slaughter it. We do stuff too.
But you understand that that's becoming, rejected.
Yeah.
So that whole process, is being rejected. Like I don't advocate for slaughtering animals for foods as a food source.
Oh, how about
for me?
How about that? Like somebody gets abducted by Greys, and then they get left somewhere. Like they get abducted from their house, and then they find and a person wakes up at a convenience store on a street.
Yes, that happened.
It's kind of like catch and release. Like people catch a fish, and then they throw the fish back in the water. It's kind of the same.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So people call aliens kind of stupid for doing that. Not really. They just don't. They just see things differently. That's all. We're just not catching up on.
Well, they don't have the emotions.
Exactly.
So it's not something that we can't comprehend. A saying that some people may like, what the hell is she talking about? But you can't explain the color 9. I'm just going to say that one time.
I understand. What about? Well, I mean, I got an energy about like we're learning a lot of stuff like the aliens either don't want to learn or don't have to learn. We're learning a lot of stuff that they, because all the the density of we have the news talking about somebody's always getting hurt or something. I mean, alien beings don't. I mean, some have that sort of, but not like this. Like somebody dies every night and stuff like that. It's like Yeah, we're
Well,
going.
I think people are becoming more desensitized by the concept of
Yeah,
alien beings because we talk about it a lot, and there's
yeah,
a lot of now with the internet,
yeah. It helps.
there is a lot of help
Hmm.
out there and connection with that and exposure. People are being exposed to things more through the internet access. Not saying that it's not being manipulated, and
Yeah,
definitely it's being monitored, but it's an opportunity for people to think, like, or ask questions. Whereas if it wasn't, decades ago, if it wasn't like taught to you in school or in a school book or on the news that day, it didn't exist. But today we have the internet, and we have people such as yourself um, that share on this platform to help people awaken to the reality of it. So they're more desensitized, and it's really no big deal anymore for some people. I'm sure others are, still stuck in the mentality of tinfoil hat people, but that's not the way it is.
yeah. Because there's like you hear about the Pleiadians, the Greys, the Triangle beings. People are going to
Golden
connect,
triangles.
and people are going to connect to alien beings that no one's even heard of, and that's what makes it a little bit more complicated. Like you get a psychic sense that something's here, and it's like you look on the internet, it's like I don't see any of that anywhere.
Yeah. Well, also, I'm given information right now. Is just, don't you realize your ancestors had the same experiences and they didn't understand it, but ancestors back in medieval times. Oops, sorry about that. Was that you or me? I
No, I think
apologize. Sorry. They're just saying, just don't you realize your ancestors all have had these experiences? It's not new.
it's just being talked about now more.
Well, we want to understand it more.
Yeah,
They looked at the aliens as gods of the sky.
yeah, no doubt.
God, these were gods, but we're looking at it differently. But this has been, our ancestors have had similar. Now, if you have had a personal experience with an alien contact, then your ancestors absolutely have,
Hmm.
because they follow bloodlines.
Or I've had let's see, I hadn't mentioned it to you. Yeah, I've had a couple. Like when I started channeling, I felt Zetas on their ship moving around. I felt them, they were kind of giving me a message back too. It's like, okay, thanks. But I felt them walking around. It was only for like a couple of seconds.
Well, that's how it happens. That happens when you're channeling.
Yeah, that was my first awakening.
That's
And
when you first realize that was real.
oh yeah, that yeah, you can say when I channeled the gray, that was kind of letting me know that I'm on the right track.
Right.
My whole crown chakra was lit up too. After that, it was lit up for a while, like maybe a day or two, because it
Mm.
opened me up. So that was different. I also felt a Palladian ship. This is like in 2015. I was driving on an interstate going to a park, and I felt the Palladian ship. I just felt I didn't see it. I felt the people on it, like there's somebody flying it, and you felt the ship turn a little bit, and that was only for a couple.
Interesting.
I just felt it all through me.
I believe you.
You
And
can't.
it's actually not something that you experience with just your eyes. It's exactly what you're saying. It's a
Exactly.
feeling.
Yeah.
Just like the green boat. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it on the radio, but I know that I mentioned it to you before. Last week I had absolutely in the sky. It was a green light. It was lit up, a bright green boomerang
Yeah.
ship, and it looked like it was a star at first, and then it just kind of shifted, and you could see the green. It was really up there, and I know it was there, and I had a feeling about what I was seeing. So, if you're looking in the sky and you're not sure, the best thing is to understand that it's not just what you see with your eyes.
Yeah.
You bring up an important point there.
Yeah, it's what you're feeling. Yeah, we're not used to that. We're always looking with our eyes.
Yeah, but that's just one of our senses. Use all of your senses when you're able to connect. All day in doing readings and interpretations, and I do healing work. There are blue lights that are constantly in my home. I'll catch a blue light flashing here or there. I really never stop to say, who is this, or why are they here? I just feel that my feeling, even though I see the blue light, my feeling is they're here helping me facilitate the work that I'm doing. And it's a positive energy. So, but in 2020, more people are going to be having these more of these type of experiences. And I'm hoping that more people understand that it happens to everyone. There's no chosen person. It's just, what are you willing to accept?
Exactly. What do you want to go through?
And I know, and I feel that it's very exciting when you know that other people are experiencing it too, because there's power in numbers. And the more people that are able to have these experiences and understanding and enlightenment, the better we all will be able to escape the negativity of the controlled system that we have been born into.
What about like those that are in a like a relationship, or like an intimate relationship, or husband and wife, or what about for certain ones that they feel each other's energies? Like you're kind
of. Those are past life experiences and soulmates. There are twin flames theories that people, use, whatever term you want to. This is past life experiences and missions to be completed.
Interesting. Because I don't think everybody goes through that.
No.
Different levels of it, but some.
It's rare. It's extremely rare. So if you are in that experience, blessings, trust it, allow the process, don't force anything, and, it's a feeling that you can't manifest. It already exists before you arrived. And energy will connect with you. Those energies are like magnets in the universe. So if you do have that connection with somebody, it is truly rare.
Wow.
But that is unfinished business that has to be, that's a spiritual contract that was made. That's my belief.
I believe it. Sometimes it's easy. I don't think it's easy.
But people are out there looking, where's my soulmate? I want my soulmate. Listen, it's my dog, okay? Your soulmate could be your dog, or your, stop looking for that. Understand, look at what you have now.
I agree. Yeah.
And understand that you may not need, you may have, you did decide you didn't want the distraction. Yet you came in here to this world thinking that you needed it to fit into society's expectations of you. But that's not really why you're here.
Yeah.
And that's why there's failed relationships. My hand is up. This is me. Okay?
Yep. Just,
I'm speaking about that from a personal experience. And when go ahead.
What about those that are, this is just, hopefully this help others. Like some people, not everybody's meant to be with somebody at a certain time, but then you're around like people like coworkers and all. Everybody's with somebody, and you're just all by yourself. It's like, it's kind of.
Well, that again is coming from a place of ego, right? So the ego wants to be fed.
Yeah.
So
they kind of feed on it too. Are you with somebody? Why aren't you doing this? Yada yada yada.
Yes. But you see, that's a very tough situation because you're in a work environment. And you're not really your authentic self. You're doing what you need to do for the purpose of surviving at this particular time. But it is very hard to overcome, and we could succumb to that. Okay, to that whole system of you should be in a relationship. Something must be wrong with you if you're not in that relationship. It's all horse shit. Okay, that is somebody else's interpretation of what society should be. But it's actually not the normal human response to interacting with another. So really, as humans, we don't just have one mate. That's not a normal, I guess, interaction to just be down with one person in our life. However, when I said to you earlier that it's rare that you find a connection with one person and you both feel it and you know that this is a definite strong pull, and I've seen it, nothing can break that bound. I've seen it. And it's very rare. That is to be honored. But as humans, normally, it is not, I don't know who came up with the idea that we all need to be paired up. I don't know where that originated from. But to be honest with you, be good with yourself, and you will attract your tribe. You will attract, because everything is energy, and energy is... So if you're not in your authentic self, what is meant to be connected with you, whether it be a relationship or friends or your, whatever, it will be attracted to you when you are your true self at all times, which is not an easy thing. We're never our true self at all times. I can't walk around and be myself in a grocery store. Somebody will call the police. The crazy woman walking around Publix. Okay, I get it. We have to put on a mask to function, which is not the way we all want to be, and I don't think it's going to be like that forever.
No.
But where we are today as a society, we have to have some kind of control of that behavior. It's it is a mask.
Yeah, it is. It's, I have no choice basically, without you getting yourself in trouble or making others people feel uncomfortable too. So that's true. But when you are being your true self, you will attract your likeness. And you don't have to be in a committed relationship to be a whole person. You are already a whole person. Don't look for your better half. I hate that word, better half. Oh, I know. That's
two words together.
That's bullshit. I know.
You are whole within yourself. You don't need another person to improve on your perfect self.
Yeah. So. Good.
But it's nice. Companionship is nice.
Yeah. Well, that's why people have dogs.
Yeah. I'm telling you, my dog is my soulmate. It took me a very long time to realize.
I got cats.
See? They come in all forms. That's right.
And just watching
2020, good year. Just hang in there. Keep it going. Keep moving in the right direction. But don't expect big change.
No, I don't. I think energy-wise will be a change, but nothing too dramatic. We can't handle anything too dramatic. Hopefully, just negativity, like school shootings and stuff. Hopefully that. I mean, it is kind of calming down. Hopefully,
I feel like it's fading.
Good. Yeah.
I mean, listen, nothing is going to be 100%, but it's going to be fading. It's almost as we're going to have amnesia to it soon, as if, oh yeah, that used to happen. Okay.
I one of those kind of that. They look at our world now in the future as like, damn.
Amnesia.
We look at the past, it was like, how did that happen?
How did they even live like that? Right.
And then we look at ourselves now, it's like from the future, it's like, man, I'm glad we don't have to go through that again.
Exactly. Yes.
And when I get that image, we're out in space. We're living in space. And it's not wearing, it's not wearing, the get up, it's like Star Trek or something, where you're living, you're not walking around in a spacesuit, you know what I mean?
It would be nice, but we want what we don't have right now. And so
eventually
we are in a beautiful world that many extraterrestrial beings want to be here living. They are, but we have a beautiful world that we live in now, and I'm very grateful that we have this opportunity to experience it. But we need to continue to keep treating it well, so we can have it for much longer.
All right. Anything else before we wrap up?
Well, Happy New Year.
Yep. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yep. Yes. Be well, be happy, eat good, and blessings to everyone. And thank you for having me tonight.
Of course. Yep. All right. Much love, everyone. Good night.